Hello and welcome to this episode of the Offbeat Podcast with me, Dan.
And me, Luke. Make sure you head to our socials, show us some support, like, comment and subscribe on this video. Go to Spotify, give us a 5-star rating. Enjoy the episode. Welcome back to the Offbeat Podcast, people. Back again. New location.
Yeah. If you're not seeing our posts on Instagram, get us followed. But yeah, we've got a brand new location. We're filming at Dark Peak Barbers, aren't we?
Dark Peak Barbers in Hatfield, yeah. We've now, it's now going to be our permanent home as well. We're also going to be a lead sponsor of the podcast as well, so nice little upgrade for ourselves anyway. Beats like my front room.
Exactly.
Last time you were on was in my old living room, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It's in the old flat now. That was the old days. Well, speaking of which, I mean, I don't need much of an introduction, I guess, really today. One of our own, one of the Offbeat original. I think you were our first guest we had on, who we didn't know. We first had on.
Yeah,
but Leyton Collymore was back in for round 2.
We're back again.
We're back again. I was going to say no pun intended there, but back round 2. How are you, mate? You okay?
Not too bad. How have you been yourselves?
Yeah, good,
Great,
mate. Good, mate. Just getting by as always. But yeah, when you first with us, you were just had your first fight, hadn't you?
Yeah.
So I think you were 1-0.
1-0, yeah. I think it was just either just had the first one or having it. I think I fought. I didn't. I fought at the time.
You just fought. Yeah.
Scheduled for my second one. Yeah. Yeah. It was an hour 3-0 and scheduled for the fourth one.
Nice, scheduled for 4. Going for 4-0, mate. 4-0.
Strength to strength.
Strength to strength. That's an understatement as well. You're fighting it's in Oldham, isn't it?
Oldham
Leisure Centre, innit?
Yeah.
30th of July. Black Flash Promotions.
Black Flash Promotions. I've seen them all over. There's some big fighters. And like, I'm having a look down their Instagram as well. Putting on some big cards as well. Like, there's titles going on like in different cities as well.
Yeah.
So do they kind of like come to you? Is that how it works? Or do you go to them looking for fights? Or how does it kind of work?
It's mainly, obviously his manager, Joe Pennington, he's a trainer as well as I'm his trainer. He's got all the connects. He knows who's who and what's what, and he knows what shows to be on, doesn't he? And
he knows everyone.
What's a good platform to be on, and obviously Black Flash, it's owned by Pat Barrett,
Right.
former professional, wasn't he?
Yeah.
I think it was European champion, Pat.
Was European?
So, yeah, I think so. Yeah. So he's he's got a good pedigree behind him. He's the professional trainer at College St Mostyn as well. So they are good promotions. Black Flash. They do put a lot of good fights on, a lot of good prospects on their bills as well. So it's I'd say it's a good platform for him to be on.
100%.
Mate, it's moving up as well because you've got so many different promotions nowadays as well. So if you think about it, with certain, just for like people who be watching, like what's happening, we might stand doing my head in, so I just thought I'm unplugging it. I'm literally just going to be like, this is like me in like a boxing promotion when you see me after interview with a mic everywhere like that. How do you find like this stuff like? Do you like your weigh-ins and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Because obviously, do you know the people that you're fighting quite? Because we're kind of in and around.
It depends, doesn't it? Because like some of the ones that I've fought have been on the circuit for a while, so they're well known, they're well seen, so quite respected guys. So yeah, I know a little bit about them. Won't say I know them too well, obviously, until I meet them, and then we have a little bit of a scrap. But yeah, it's just part of the game kind of thing. I don't really think about it like that, if you know what I mean.
You're a nice guy as well, aren't you? So I can't imagine you doing like a McGregor sort of.
It's part and parcel, isn't it? Obviously, it is McGregor's who he is, isn't it? But that's what sells, and it sells to the people that don't understand fighting, doesn't it? Because they're like, they want to see it because there's a bit of aggro or there's a bit of bad blood, and then after it, it's like, there's no bad blood. It's just to sell tickets or it's just to boost the fight. Do you know what I mean? There's a lot of things that go behind it all, but no, it's just a learning, just enjoying it.
When there's not proper bad blood, is it tough getting it? Is it more difficult getting into a fight with someone that you like as a person?
There's not really been many times when I've had a bad blood for someone. There's probably maybe 1 or 2 opponents in the entire past I could say where it's been maybe a bad blood or just don't like them, you just don't get along. That is it. Out of all the fights even in professional, this will be my 40th now in terms of professional fights in my career. Since 16.
Yeah.
So yeah, just under 10 years fighting professional fights. You know what I mean? Of obviously cross-platform fighting. But yeah, there's only been one person. Well, yeah, one really, because I didn't really, the other lad, Marcel, I didn't really think it. It was just that he called me out for a really long time, and it wasn't me that didn't want the fight. It was his old coach, but that happened, and it was
politics
shown.
in it, in the fighting world, there's so many politics.
But there was only one really that was bad blood, but it wasn't even like that. It was just, he was a weird guy, wasn't he, Jack? He was a bit of a weird guy, but
yeah, it was more.
That was proving a point though, wasn't it, with that one?
Yeah.
He'd fought the guy twice, and
First one was a bit dubious. Second one definitely was.
First fight, first fight, you could probably put your hands up and say, yeah, he did win it. He did.
Depending on how you look at it, yeah.
Depending on how you scored it. Obviously, we're talking about Muay Thai now.
It's my second fight, that wasn't it?
And then he fought him again, and I think
we all knew
I think every man and his dog.
Stevie Wonder even knew.
Well, Stevie Wonder scored the fight, and but he didn't get the decision, and then he fought him a third time.
But just short notice, that wasn't it?
But it's title,
it was.
On 2 weeks' notice.
It was in January, wasn't it?
Yeah, 2 weeks
You
notice.
fought for the title on 2 weeks' notice.
Yeah,
2 weeks
just after
notice,
Christmas as
and
well. That was not a good time to be cutting weight.
Just destroyed him. He absolutely destroyed him.
It was.
And,
Yeah, it
you know,
was.
a lot of people was like, "Oh, you're going to knock him out," this, that, and the other. And we was like, "No."
Did you enjoy that?
Not being awful. I'm not being big headed enough for that, but we're going to win, and we're going to make sure that everybody in the room and in
No
that
question
community
about it.
know that he did win that fight, and he did. He was superb, wasn't it?
And then there's a fight 2 weeks again after that. It was a short notice fight against Liam Nolan, wasn't it? That was 2 weeks later, yeah. Just over 2 weeks.
That was in
after
Watford,
fought him,
wasn't it?
in Watford. Oh, that was a memorable fight. That
That was a good fight.
It was a good one, but yeah, it wasn't good for my legs. Let me tell you that anyway.
Oh,
Beating
like
up
2
someone
weeks
for
after?
Yeah, well, obviously, beating him up for 5 rounds and stuff. I was, every time the ref was about to step in, I stepped back, which was, it's a bit of a mean technique to do, but just to prove a point. But yeah, then I went in with someone that was a kicker. So first thing he did, booted his elbow, pushed a lump right out my shin. I felt it, and I was just like, I've got another 4 rounds of this. Do you know what I mean? But it's one of them, and it's part of the game. That's where you got to find where you're at in it and stuff.
How does it kind of work with? Because obviously you're wanting to make a statement. Is that what's going through your mind from time to time in a fight? Like when you're actually in that moment, are you kind of like, hang on, if I put him down here, it's a bit early, or is it just kind of like whatever happens to you?
Usually, like, if you're in that position where you know you can put him down at any point, then you're in a whole totally different control. If you know that at any point you can hit him and put him down, then you're in a different level of control in the fight. You're a lot higher than them at that. Well, on the day and in general, I'm guessing. Do you know what I mean? Overall, but usually most knockouts and stuff that come from. Most of the time, it's just a freak of a moment, isn't it? It's just that precise hitting. It's not. People go, I planned it and this and that. Sometimes you can pre-plan it. Do you know what I mean? Like drilling. Everyone says like McGregor and Aldo, he drilled it. Yeah, fair dues, he drilled it. But that moment just happened, and it was muscle memory that he landed the shot for him. Do you know what I mean? I don't think he really knew that was going to happen at that exact split second. He just knew at one point in the fight, I'm going to get that shot. So I think there's some ways you can pre kind of guess it, but no, if I can go anyway, everyone has a puncher's chance. You know what I mean? You could go in there.
Of course.
And be, the one that was seed to win the fight completely. Do you know what I mean? And know the other guy don't have a chance, but he could hit you with one shot and it could change the whole game. So the boxing, it's a fighting mode, should we say? It's not just boxing, is it? It's the fighting mode. Anything can change at any moment. And we've all seen it where, in like the actual UFC, in it where one is getting pummeled up for a whole round, he'll come out and the next minute he just throws a weird wild shot and the other guy's on his back and you're like, oh, it's changed. You blink, you've had a sip of your brew and you looked and you go, I've missed something. It's one of them moments.
I think from a fighter's point of view and a trainer's point of view, it can be different, because you've got to appreciate as a trainer, you're not really, even though you live every punch and you feel every punch and you get that sort of emotion there, but as a fighter, if you've got another fighter baiting you and trying to get in your head, his headspace is different to mine. So as a trainer, I can't afford to get emotionally attached to that, because then if I do, he's definitely going to do that.
Of course,
You know what I'm saying? So from my point of view as a trainer, I would never say to any fighter, let's go for the knockout here. Let's go straight at him and go get him out of there straight away. What I say is, if it's there, it'll happen.
Of course,
There, it'll happen. You've got a set of skills, use them, because you're good enough to outbox anybody in the world. Yeah. So we use that. We utilise that first, and then as the rounds go on, if you see the openings and it's there, we'll take it. But if not, we won't push it. A lot of people, it's funny because a lot of people who come and watch and they're like, oh, you're gonna knock him out this time, you're gonna knock him out, and it's like, listen, at this stage of his career, it's about rounds.
Of course, yeah. That's why you have a journeyman and stuff, don't you? It's what they're there for.
3-4 rounders, 12 rounds. Next one's a 6 rounder. If you can get the 6 rounds in, then great, that's 20 rounds in 4 fights.
Yeah.
Some kids, they'll be 10-0 and only have done maybe 10, you know, like 10 rounds or 11, 12 rounds, you know, after 10 fights. So it's all about levels. So
also the level opponent in it as well.
Well, yeah, obviously the level opponent determines that as well. You know, we've got to say that. But if after 4 or 5 fights you could have completed all your rounds, it's experience and it's
game knowledge, isn't it?
It's game knowledge. It's knowing when you're in the ring. You know, it's all these things that you need to learn. It's all right going in there. You know, like, I mean, for example, you look at Deontay Wilder. You know, he's a
knockout
he's a KO artist, isn't he?
Yeah.
You know, I think he's only ever done 12 rounds twice.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
You know,
one of them is
Fury,
isn't it? Yeah, of
but
course.
In those 12 rounds fights, you couldn't really say, I could see his skill, I can see his boxing brain and his technique and all that. He didn't really do that.
It's kind of grit and determination that got him there, wasn't it? It was just that grit.
And possibly that's down to the fact that he did get people out of their early doors. I don't know, you know, it is what it is. But yeah, as a trainer, I would always say to him, let's get the rounds in. You know, we're not in a rush. Let's enjoy it.
You're at the fight now, you might as well enjoy it.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you've trained.
You
think about it, you've trained.
What, this one?
Well, this one, about 12 weeks.
Up to now,
It should have been, you know, about 8 weeks or whatever, but obviously, because the previous date was cancelled, was pulled. So you've done all that time in the gym, getting up every morning, going to the gym, doing your 20 rounds bagging beam on a Monday.
And still working as well. You're still having to work as
Still
well.
having to go to work, still having to do this and that. You know, I just think to myself, listen, you're all, you know, just get in there and just enjoy it. What will be, will be.
Yeah.
If it's there, it's there. If it's not, no problem. Just win the fight. Yeah. You know, a win is a win at the end of the day.
Is it ever tough for yourself watching Leyton fight?
I bet you've got two different. You must have two different sides where you're like,
your red light.
To be honest with you,
depends if you're asking. It depends if you're asking Dad or you're asking Johno, the coach, innit?
Yeah, true.
Depends which one you're asking.
To be honest, I've been sort of coaching him or training him for.
Well, since day really, when you are looking really, yeah, even before fighting, he was my coach. So
10 years or whatever. But yeah, I mean, at the start it was hard because it's hard to separate at first dad from coach.
Yeah.
You know, it's not easy, you know. And I know other dads who coach their fighters or their sons and what have you, or in whatever capacity it is, and it is difficult. And I have actually had people say to me like, you know, I'm in the same boat as you. Like, how do you do it? Because all I see is my lad, and like, you know, you get more frustrated where
you take things personal, don't you?
You've got to take that off, and you've got to say, right, you know, when I'm out, like in the gym, you don't call me Dad, he calls me Johno, like everybody else. And going back to it's funny, I never hear them, man.
They're all said that. They're all said. They've all been doing the same.
I mean, even going back to when he was playing football, when I managed the football team, you know, and I said to him, I said, listen, when I'm there, I'm not your dad. I am your dad, but you don't call me Dad.
No.
Because little Billy ain't going to call me Dad. Little Joey ain't going to call me Dad. They're going to call me John. If you start calling me Dad, straight away, they're thinking, oh,
he's going to get picked first.
He's going to get picked first. He's going to do this. He's going to get to do this.
So it is hard and it is difficult. And yeah, to be fair, sometimes I do think
it's still the very, very same. Do you know what I mean? And like, obviously, it's you've learned to understand and experience, but then it's different with every fighter, I guess, as well. So it's an experience thing, isn't it? Really, you just got to go through it and work out what's best for you, as I'd say.
But to be fair, though, I think in general, as a trainer, it's not easy watching your boxers in there.
Of course, yeah. You know, you get attached to anyone because at the end of the day, you're spending just as long as it.
Luckily, I haven't been in a position yet to where I've had to seriously think about, do I need to pull this kid out here?
Yeah, of course.
You know, so you know, by the grace of God, I've not been through that yet, and it's one of them things where it is tough because, you know, I remember one kid who I went out with, and I actually said to him, it was after the sort of like second or third round, and I said to him, listen, your eye's going a little bit there. I don't like it. You need to start a little bit more now, you know what I mean? And to be fair to him, he did do so. You know, that finished okay, but it is hard because you're kind of being entrusted with someone's
Their safety, yeah.
It is literally their safety.
Partner, whatever it may be. So it is difficult. I think it's more difficult than what a lot of people sort of appreciate.
Were you training before you started training Leyton then?
Not in boxing, no.
No.
Not in boxing. I've been around boxing all my life.
Right.
I've always been a boxing fan. I've loved boxing. I wanted to box when I was a kid, but my mother thought I was too good looking to be a boxer.
Thanks. That's not looking.
Did you see we won 4-0 today?
Yeah, I missed it because I had a PT at the time, but I seen
Watched it.
Yeah,
Watched it, man.
We're back, baby.
Hopefully.
Fred, Dink and Allison.
And that's the comical of it. I think Alison should retire from that, innit? Getting chipped by Fred.
Also, we are starting on this because I want to get a clip of United back, and then straight away, and then in a few weeks' time, we were watching it at work, and one of our lads is a big scouser.
Right.
Big scouser, and he got a lot of abuse about it, and he's a bit of a biter as well. He didn't matter. It's pre-season, everyone knows that. Every time someone was saying something to him, he was like, "Well, no, but what about no, but," and you're like, "Come on, man."
It is what it is, isn't it? No, we can't get carried away though, can we? But it's pre-season, but we can rub it in a little bit, can't we?
What do you think about United this year? How do you reckon it's going to go? I know it's a bit of a sore subject, just saying, but
We're back. Top 4.
I like you say United are back and you say top 4 after that. So United back nowadays, now top 4.
Listen, like I say, after today's result, it's easy to get carried away, innit? You're like, oh yeah, we've done the bin dippers 4-0, we're back. But listen, it's pre-season. I watched the game and I thought the first half, I thought it looked pretty good. To be fair, I think you can see the philosophy that he's trying to implement. You can see the way the playing style, what he wants. So, listen, at the end of the day, it is what it is. You know, if they're either going to go up or they're going to stay the same. Personally, myself, I think we'll do all right. I think top 4 is realistic.
Yeah,
I really do.
Even with no more signings, because obviously De Jong's going to come in here.
To be honest, we were talking about this on the way up, and I said to him, Ten Hag's first interview that he did, he said, listen, let's remember, this squad 2 years ago finished second. So when you look at it like that, you start to, like I not forgot about it, but I just put it into the back of my mind that, and then I started to think, you know what, he's actually right. And if you think back to that season, there was games which we threw away, we drew, or we'd throw away and we get beat, and then it's one of them, you know. I think as a squad, you'll get. I mean, listen, you know, you're going to get City fans or Chelsea fans or Arsenal fans, Liverpool fans there say, "Oh, he won't get in our team." But I'll tell you now, any one of those.
Comment.
I'll tell you now, any one of those starting 11, and I'm talking about a starting 11 here, like De Gea, whoever, whatever, blah blah blah. Easy getting any of them teams, easy. And I'm just being real. It's like De Bruyne would walk into any team in the world, and I'm a United fan. I don't particularly like De Bruyne, but what a world-class footballer he is. You know, where Sergio Aguero, one of the best centre forwards ever to grace the Premier League. But you know, I'm a realist. You know, you look at Raheem Sterling there, just gone to Chelsea. He's not going to struggle to get starting place. I don't think.
He'll be straight into
the team.
I don't get that transfer.
I don't get either. Jesus or Sterling, both going to your rivals.
No, I get selling them. I don't get what Sterling's thinking. Is he just thinking money? He got racially abused there 3 years ago. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
And yet, if that was me, I'd be like, no, why would I go there? But
you wouldn't, would you? But
it's weird.
Money talks.
Exactly.
Sometimes.
You know, money has a way of sort of easing.
I won't say the last one.
Takes and things like that, doesn't it? You know what I mean?
He's now going to be the 3rd highest player in the Premier League.
Yeah.
Is it? Yeah.
3rd highest paid player. Yeah. That's mental when you think of it like that.
It's mad, isn't it?
But I suppose he's a London boy as well. Show it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he a Chelsea fan as well.
I don't think he's Chelsea. No. I don't know if he's supposed to be fair, but he's from Wembley. So
right.
So he's a London boy, but still, all that money, and you're like.
To be fair, I am pretty shocked that they have actually sold him.
I thought they would have kept him for a while.
I mean, I like you spend 100 million on Erling Haaland, and someone's got to go, haven't they? You know what I mean? But I'd say that's another one with me. Haaland, playing in Germany and playing in England, two totally different.
Just look at
things.
Sancho. He was top quality at Dortment.
Exactly.
Sorry, but we're not comparing Jadon Sancho
to Haaland.
to Erling Haaland, are we?
No, it's not a comparison in durability. It's a comparison of the German league is, for me, is championship level. The Premier League is the best league in the world.
But on top of that, though, if you look at Erling Haaland in the Champions League, against City, he bullied us. He bullied us for 90 minutes.
Yeah,
and
but like that though, Champions League, you can get like...
You can get the odd game, can't you? You can get the odd game where you can kind of pull out of the bag.
Malmo turning over Real Madrid because they're up for it. A couple of years ago, I think it was Anderlecht. Was it Anderlecht? Or Bruges, or one of the two? No, who were the Italian team? Who were in it? Atalanta.
Oh yeah.
And they were really good, and you won't really class them as a major European force, would you? You know what I mean?
It's called working as a team, though, isn't it?
Yeah, of course.
Sometimes individual players don't always win your games. They can do, but it's working as a team, innit?
Yeah, they're not going to win but an individual player doesn't win you the league. They win you the odd game here and there, but at the end of the day, if the whole team dynamic isn't on, it's not going to happen, is it? No. It's just not going to happen. I think City have shown that this year. I think the best individual players in the league, when you look at people like De Bruyne when De Bruyne's injured and stuff like that, City change your team. The team changing ridiculous. You're having people like Raheem Sterling playing 25 games in a season starting. Mate, he doesn't really deserve to start every game, but because of the rotation, because of the way he's done it, I think works quite well. There's the annual football chat.
There's the 5-minute football.
Well, we were going slipping 5-10 minutes of football. But anyway, it's always better to just have football fans in there as well. Yeah. We want to talk about your upcoming fight and kind of, so it's at Oldham, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then do you know much about the lad you're fighting? Is he...
I don't really look into it too much, do I? In terms of I don't sit there. Some people they'll sit there and they'll learn everything about him, and it's like you could watch him to the day's end, but they could turn up and be totally different.
Of course,
You just got to prepare yourself in terms of ready to fight, and whatever the situation and outcome comes, I'll be ready for that. If you know what I mean, not ready for them. If that makes sense, because at the end of the day, like I say, anything could happen and change. So it's more about preparing myself. I'm focusing too much on what they're like. I'm not focused on myself. Do you know what I mean? So for me, just prepare yourself. Make sure you're fit enough. Make sure you're ready. Make sure everything's covered.
Everything you can do, you've done.
Yeah, everything I can do. Yeah. If I go in there and I get battered, it's because either I'm not prepared proper, or I'm just not that level yet. Do you know what I mean? And that's the honest part of it. Do you know what I mean? It's no, my cat went and got run over the other day, I was a little bit emotional, so I couldn't. No, just wasn't ready.
Of course,
I failed. It's just
you've got no excuse then.
Some people, they like to create all these excuses and stuff. Everyone has injuries and this and that. We all fight. It happens all the time, but some people like to use it as a way out to explain things like, if you've got an injury, you should be open and honest about it. If it's where it's going to stop you from fighting, then don't fight. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Don't then lose and then take away the win from the winner. Do you know what I mean? Because you didn't prepare yourself. That's just my eyes. Do you know what I mean? If I'm going in there and I know I've got a knock, I'll make it plain and notice after. Yeah, but that wasn't why I lost. I lost because of I didn't prepare proper. Do you know what I mean? And not a lot of people don't like to take that blame, do they? They don't like to take the I blame. And then usually the most common factor is they blame coaches after. Yeah. He didn't prepare me right. They didn't give me the right count. Well, no, you're the one going in the ring, so you should be the one making sure that everything that's happening before it is prepared right. So whether the coach isn't right or the situation ain't right, you take yourself out of it and you correct it. You don't leave 100%. It to the end and then let that happen and then blame it on the coach. 100%. Like, no, you're at fault first because you're the being one. Do you know what I mean? And a lot of people do that. Do you know what I mean? Is blame the coach because it's an easy way out. It's a cop out because everyone goes, well, maybe his team couldn't be right. He might need to improve himself. Well, no, you could be in the worst setup. But if you want it to work, you'll make it work. And
being professional into it. It's taking account of yourself and how you work.
Exactly.
Yeah. One of my biggest icks with any sort of combat sport really is when a fighter loses, automatically. It's not all the time.
I say with any sports, even in combat, when you see people like football, when you see like Jurgen Klopp moaning about the weather,
like I say, it's not all the time. It's not every time someone loses, but a lot of the time it's like, well, it was this, and you know, he didn't really do this, and he didn't really do that for me, and it's like, look, it's like when people talk about game plans. What is a game plan? Like, how can you plan for something that is
unknown?
How can you plan for something unknown? How can you plan for someone hitting you in the head?
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
It's like I get it. I get the ideology behind it. You know, if you've got someone who's 12-0, 12 knockouts in the first round and this, that and the other, then you need to come up with some sort of strategy to make sure that he doesn't do it again with you, kind of thing. I get that, but ultimately, as soon as he's climbed through them ropes, it's him and him.
Assess, evaluate, and
it doesn't matter what I've done or what Joe's done in the 8 weeks previous. The pad work, the sparring sessions, the fitness work, the strength work, all those things that we do as trainers, in a way, it can go out the window, because this kid might catch you off guard. He might have fought 12 fights a certain way, come to you on the night and be totally different. So it's, and how many times has that happened where fighters have been scheduled to fight somebody, they've had an opponent change, and they've got in the ring, and the kid's meant to have been an orthodox, he started southpaw. And it's like, wow, that knocked me off, kind of thing. So game plans, it's, you know,
it's a weird one, isn't it?
Yeah,
not weird, but it's a tough one, isn't it? Like,
it's not something.
I suppose if it's like a title fight where you know for a fact you're fighting the British champion, you know,
obviously,
100% you're fighting him. But when are you going to get that? You're not going to get that so often.
Just being smart, no. Do you know what I mean? Like, if you like, say for example, he was in a British title and you know the guy's a bit of a brawler, of course you're going to go in and go, don't get involved. Just jab and move. Do you know what I mean? There's having that kind of sense of game plan, but that's not really a game plan. That's just using your brain. It's obvious. It's not stupid. If someone, you know, someone's a banger and he's going to knock people out, I'm not going to stand there and be a target for him to hit. That's not game plan. It's just being smart. Don't be stupid. I'm not going to stand there and let him whack me with every shot, because lo and behold, one's going to get through or it's going to do damage. You know what I mean? Like, that's just general knowledge. You know what I mean? It's not planning it. Do you know what I mean? But obviously, like, some people, if they've got a class that as a game plan, they do.
Yeah, I mean, listen, it's different strokes for different folks, isn't it? Horses for courses, mate. You know, it is what it is. If you like to say, oh, well, we work to a game plan, then that's fine. If that works for you, then that works for you. But me personally, I don't like we don't go in the gym every morning, and we don't, like, me and Joe don't sit there and go, right, he's fighting this kid this time, so he does this and he leaves his arm out a little bit when he jabs, so we need to. We don't do that. We just look at the footage. Who's he down to fight? Yeah, such and such a banner. You watch a few fights. Oh, so he comes forward a little bit. He sort of fights in flourishes and goes away. So you have that. You have a mental picture of how they fight, and you just pass that on to him and say, right, this kid, he likes to do this, so just be wary of that. It's not like we sit there and go,
we just make ourselves better, innit? So
I'll do this to you now and then you do this. We don't do that. We just concentrate on, basically, you just got to work to his strengths, you know. Work on what he's good at.
The better one on the day, innit? That's the fact, innit? If you're not, then you go back, you go to the drawing board and go, look, where did I go wrong?
Fight's a fight, innit? At the end of
this is where I improved, you know what I mean? And that's where it's like I say, it's a lesson, isn't it? Learn. So obviously, a loss is not always a loss, it's a lesson learnt more than anything. In anything in life, not just in boxing, it's anything in life. If you're losing a football match, you look back and you go, where did we go wrong? Well, the defence was this, or it's a lesson learned. And a lot of people kind of have this stigma, don't they, that once they've lost, they've not got it anymore. And it's like,
listen, you've got to lose to
lesson. Someone's got to lose. Obviously, you know, they've got, mate, what about Mayweather? Yeah, granted, but he has lost at one point in his life. He's had that learning curve.
You will never, ever know, and I mean, no, it's everything's opinion based, innit? I get that.
Yeah, of course.
But in my own humble opinion, you will never ever know what it's like to truly win until you've lost. Once you've been up there and you have to come back down here, when you get back up there, it's
different level, isn't it?
So much.
I like with your hand there. You started off here, went down, and you went even further.
Yeah, because that's it. That's the top. You come back down there. You don't get back to there. You go further. You go further than that. And ultimately, it's like anything you do in life, you know, it's you've got to work hard, you've got to be prepared to suffer these losses, to, you know, get kicked in the bollocks every now and then.
Yeah, of course.
Because it's what makes you as a person, it's what makes your character. You know, if I mean, I'm like say Mayweather, you know, all right, what is it, 50?
50 and all.
50 now,
50
yeah.
and all. All right,
Amazing.
okay. It's because of the lost violence, you know, the...
Oh
Las
yeah,
Vegas.
he's had a little bit of dodging and ducking and diving that he did a little bit.
Been a few of
when he-
these fights where you could go, well, I don't know how he's won that, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
You know, and and unfortunately for him, he'll never understand what tasting defeat is like, and it's kind of bittersweet, isn't it?
It's sad in a way.
It's kind of bittersweet when you get beat and you come on. There's been times like that. Say one of the fights that he lost. You know, and you see him not on the floor, but you see him upset and heartbroken. It's like, well, this is how I'm going to make you or break you. You know, if you let that consume you, you might as well forget it.
Not put your gloves up on the
You might as well
side,
forget it. Hang your gloves up. Go and do something else. Go and play tiddlywinks or something like that. You know, but
Yeah.
the true mark of a man is when he's down, he's getting up and rising back up to the top. You know.
Definitely. I mean, look at Fury. He's a prime example of that, isn't he?
Yeah, he's literally that's what his whole kind of story has been over the past few years, and then look at what he can do to a man as well. Look at him now; he's like
top of the game.
10 times the man he was.
He's thriving, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's loving life. He's loving life. You know, and like you say, that's once you've been to rock bottom.
Yeah.
And like, I don't want to say so much about it, but I can speak on personal experience. I've been at rock bottom. You know, I've been there, and once you hit that you can't get no lower. So there's only one way you can go, and that's back up. You know what I mean? And like I say, when you start to win again, it feels so much better. You know.
So it's like that as well. You look at you have the examples from all different kinds of sports as well, but I think it's quite. It says a lot about a person as well, because you see the people who are very ego driven.
Yeah.
They'll get knocked down. You never get back up. Like you see a lot of pro footballers. That's the best example, I think. When a pro footballer gets, I don't know, rejected from one club, they'll go down the leagues and they'll just go down. Or like people like Ravel Morrison, all the talent in the world a few years ago.
Yeah.
No one knocked back and he's never got back. But then you look at people who are kind of grafters, always there. People at City, like one I think of right now is Zinchenko. Like he's never his first name in a team sheet, is he?
No.
And look at him now. He's got 3 Premier League winners medals. He's still there, still in contention. You're like, it says a lot about a person.
Yeah, of course it does.
And you improve.
Yeah. 100%. I agree with that.
Yeah. Crazy. I don't know. I don't even know where to follow.
I was like, I hope that was good for you, because I tell you when I was sat here, I was fucking loving every minute. I'm like, Go for that. Should we go a little bit silly? A little bit sillier than always.
YouTube box here.
Oh, God.
We are going silly now, aren't we? Wow.
Here we go.
The big hoo-ha at the moment is Tommy Fury and Jake Fury. I've got my opinions on it. I personally think that Tommy shot it. From what he looks like from the outside, he does look like he shit a little bit. But from like a pro kind of boxing and like pro trainer point of view, what is your opinion on kind of like that situation and what's happening there?
Be quiet.
Cheers.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Listen, look, Jake Paul, he's a YouTuber, he's a clown at best, but listen, fair play to him. Yeah, fair play to him.
He looks handy, doesn't he?
He looks like he's got the basics covered.
Yeah.
I'll say that.
Would he had his bank balance?
Well, that's another thing, isn't it? He's making money. He's making money. He's hustling. Listen, he's a hustler. You know.
What do you think about what he's doing for Amanda? Was it Serrano?
Serrano. Yeah, he's he promoting or
yeah,
something,
and he's doing wonders with her.
Listen,
the money
that fight with Katie Taylor was probably better than some of the male fights I've seen.
Unbelievable. And the money they both got paid for it.
Yeah, the money they made is astronomical. But in terms of him and Tommy Fury, read into that what you want.
Yeah.
To do with the whole not being allowed into America. Opinions are like arseholes. Everyone's got one.
Exactly. Yeah.
So it is what it is. Whether it's true, whether it's bullshit, I can't say.
There's only one person who knows, and that's
There's only
Tommy
one
Fury,
person who's going to know that.
If it's not
that's
bullshit, I feel sorry for Tommy Fury, because it looks like he's flaked twice now.
Exactly.
If it's not bullshit.
Exactly. So it's hard to, you've got to kind of judge it as you see it, aren't you, a little bit.
Yeah. And I think
But people are going to forget it in a year's time anyway.
Yeah, listen, Jake Paul will move on. He's supposedly down to fight Asim Ratman's son, innit?
Yeah.
Now, whether that'll be a full-on proper fight or whether Asim Ratman will receive a brown envelope.
Who knows?
Who knows? You don't know, do you? But, you know... but yeah, like, I agree with you. I do feel sorry for Tommy. I really do, because he is getting a lot of flack.
Getting a lot of flack, yeah.
It's one of them. He's damned if he does and he's damned if he don't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It was a lot in a win-win's favour of Jake.
Yeah, Jake
It
Paul.
was, yeah.
It was a lot in a win-win's favour. If
what-
Tommy wins, it was just like, well, oh, there we go.
He's a boxer.
Yeah, everyone's going to turn around and go, you beat a YouTuber. If he loses, everyone's going to go, you got beat off a YouTuber. So he's not really, it doesn't matter what he does. That's it, he's damned if he does, damned if he
I don't
don't.
think he was winning. It was
You know what I mean? But yeah, to be fair, I do feel sorry for him a little bit.
I do think Jake's clever though.
Oh, he's very clever.
He's
very
astronomically like a PR machine.
Yeah.
He makes Conor McGregor look average sometimes, and you're there like, what? And face it, right? He's a Disney kid.
Yeah.
Originally,
Like, he was on Disney Channel, he was on Disney Channel when we were kids, and yeah, like, and now he's like brushing shoulders with like people like Tommy Fury. He's getting fucking Tyson Fury angry.
Yeah.
Come on.
Telling Eddie Hearn he's going to beat Canelo in 3 years. Like, mate,
that one I do think don't bother me. Like, I get the whole believing in yourself more, and you know you can beat anybody with a boxing chance, but that's a different kind of fish. You know what I mean? You're in a different pond when you're in that one with him.
Yeah.
Let's say you know Tommy Fury is not a boxer, but you know,
Canelo's a
creme de
boxer.
la creme. Let's
Yeah.
not cut it away. Do you know what I mean? But I like his attitude towards things. You know what? He's enjoying it.
Yeah.
Bringing eyes to the sport as well.
Yeah.
So
He's
I
bringing a
think
whole
so,
other
yeah.
market to the sport, which is it's a market on its own. It's one of them, isn't it? It's mad. It is mad.
Yeah.
And he's to be fair to him, like you're looking at him and you can see he's putting in the work. Like he's training just as hard as anyone else.
Yeah, of course he is.
Maybe he don't have the ability of like other pro boxers, but at the end of the day, he's not going
Dedication outworks talent, though, doesn't it?
to. Yeah, definitely.
Hard work and dedication always outworks talent, but it would have been nice to see him if he was ever wanted to make fighting, like he'd been starting from the bottom in a real world.
Yeah,
That's when
yeah,
you would have
yeah.
found out whether he's
Proper
doing it for the
fights.
love of it and or
Yeah,
doing
yeah.
it just for the
money,
media
yeah.
of it now.
Build up a
That's what's his harder
proper
fact.
record and a proper foundation to
Well,
say,
someone with
I
his
want to fight
stature.
you now, you know what I mean?
Of course.
It would have been nice to see that, but like I
Can't know with
say,
his stature, can he?
nah, he's like I say, he's
Freaking world YouTuber, right? I mean, he was known worldwide in YouTube, so for
He's
him
on
to
his-
go
he's
and
on
be
his
fighting in a community centre in a little area is not going to happen, is it? Do you know what I mean? It's
He's not old unless you send him, is he?
Cheers, mate, please. no, but it's true, innit? No, it's true. You won't catch him in there because he's too high of a figure in his industry already, and you know, which is fair to use him, that's off, do you know what I mean? But
fair play to him, innit?
it's mad when you think about it, though, innit?
But then you can also think about it your way when you're on the match rooms and you're on these big arena stages. You can be like, look, I've been in these places. Like I've been up at 8 o'clock on a Monday morning, kind of not knowing what's going to happen in the day.
Yeah.
And like,
Yeah.
it's like you were saying before. It's a bit of sweet. It's once
you
you bring to
appreciate
that
it
level,
more.
Yeah.
you're right up there.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. There was, just quickly there was the other week, Aaron Chalmers
Yes, yeah,
made his debut. Yeah. And he's signed to a pretty big promotion,
Yeah.
Wasserman Boxing. And it's like, it sort of does leave a bad taste in your mouth because it's, and it's no disrespect to him at all, you know what I mean? He is who he is and he does what he does, but when you've got kids, not just like him, but even down to the amateur level, you know, these kids,
They
especially at
graft in
amateur
and
level,
graft in.
they, you know, some of them train it like every day, you know, 5 days a week, you know, they fight at a drop of a hat, you know, they don't get paid for it.
yeah.
They get a little plastic trophy if they win, you know, and they dedicate their life to it.
Yeah.
They turn pro, might struggle to sell tickets, so they're probably going to get overlooked, and the road's going to be harder for them. But then you've got someone who, because of his notoriety in reality TV, you know, and obviously he sells a shitload of tickets.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
You know, it's like big promoters go, oh, we'll sign him up.
Yeah.
We'll, you know, so it is a little bit unfair.
Takes it away from the talent, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
it does. It
Just
does.
shows that money
It
can buy
then it kind of like says to people, well, you don't really need to put that hard work in.
Yeah.
If you're
Just
rich, you can get away with it.
just pay the best coach in the world. Have like 20 private lessons with him, And then this promoter, because you can sell 20,000 tickets, he'll sign you up anyway.
Exactly.
You know, so it is a bit shit, innit? But
with that being the case, have you ever been tempted to go down the route of just shit talking everyone, just try and like make
Calling
some
out everybody
waves?
in the world.
Yeah.
It's an angle to go out, but
You don't seem like
put
you
a
don't
target
seem
on
like
your
you
back,
don't see the guy.
You
You
really-
do
As soon as you
that.
shoot at somebody, you're going to put a target on your back regardless, and then the more you put that target on, the more people want you to fail. I'm not bothered whether someone wants me to win or fail anyway. It don't faze me. I'm on my own journey. I'm ignorant to it all in that way. Do you know what I mean? But if you're purposely doing that, and then you have that target on, and then you start going, oh, but I was, I had all these people think, well, you started it, man.
Yeah,
you know what
yeah.
I mean? Don't push a domino and then moan because it's all fell over. Like it's your fault.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things. Like obviously, if someone was trash talking and going on, I played a part. I mean, it's part of the parcel. But end of the day, I'm doing my job. I'm going in there, getting out, and I want to enjoy the rest of my life. And that's pretty much it for me. Like boxing's not a sport where it's not going to take no toll on your body. You look at luckily, thank God, you know what I mean. The level of the medical care in boxing has improved massively over the years, especially over the last 10, 15 years. It's become next level. Do you know what I mean? Where you've got to go through some really hard, medicals just to get to it. I definitely know myself. Do you know what I mean? So we've got to be thankful for that. But then also in my mind, it's just like I already have a set of goal. I want to retire at 36, and I want to be just going to see the world. I want to be able to live the rest of my life, so I want to get in and get out. So I'm not here to mess about. I'm here to just do my job. And thinking that's the thing. Yeah, obviously, I love the sport. It's not like I don't want to stay in it. I'd love to stay in it forever, but I don't want to be at 40 and still try to make it and being punch drunk and then not being able to live my life for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm to be in a kettle. Like no. And that's what I mean. Like it's just about being smart with it all and having that right professional mindset.
With that being the case and that being your plan, what's your plan after this next fight then? Have you got a few more lined up or?
Got a few in the line works, haven't we, in terms of lined up after.
Are you wanting to go elsewhere? Are you looking to kind of expand, I don't know, maybe kind of fight on a different card in a different city, or is it just kind of whatever opportunity gets put in front of you?
I think at the end of the day, it's,
This is another step in the ladder, isn't it?
it's from our point of view, like, and when I say our, I mean like me and Joe.
The team, yeah.
The team's perspective. We know that, and it's not talking hot air, it's not talking bullshit, it's not nepotism or anything like that. Because
shit to me.
it's nothing like that at all. And this is again, it's what people don't understand. I'm a straight talker. If he was shit, I'd tell him he was rubbish, and I'd say,
even if I knocked the person out, you've always been the first critique.
Whatever. But as a team, we know that he's more than capable of fighting for an English title in his next fight.
Yeah.
And that's not. People watch this and probably say, "Oh, after 4 fights." Yeah, after 4 fights.
But
It's not 4 fights, so is it?
Yeah.
Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I know it's from a different discipline, but you know what it's like to fight for titles.
Well, that's what I was alluding to then.
Yeah.
He's had an extensive career in Muay Thai, a 3-time British champion, 2-time English champion, European champion. Ranked in number 3 or number 4 in the UK at the time.
Ranked number 1 in 2 different countries.
Ranked number 1 in 2 different countries. Yeah. The top lads in this country were avoiding him before he got out of the game. Yeah. So that experience is there. And I think the commentators on his last fight, they actually said, didn't they? You can see the experience, the ring craft, the ring savviness about
you
him.
can. When we talk about you doing your shuffling and stuff like that, you look confident, you look composed at every part, and that is a whole part.
Yeah.
Of
I've always said to everybody, like, when you watch him in the ring, that's when he's truly at home. Yeah. So that's where he's meant to be. He used to play football when he was a kid. I told you before.
Yeah.
And he used to think he had the aspirations of being a footballer. And I said to him, "No, you're not a footballer." He was good. Don't get me wrong. He was a good footballer, but I always knew that boxing was where he was going to go, because he just looks like a boxer.
Yeah.
He walks like a boxer. He talks like a boxer. Everything about him is a boxer. And like I say, like I say, people are going to say, "Oh, you're going to say that because you're his dad, this, that, and the other." That's fair play, like I said before, it's upon someone's opinion. That's not a problem. But in my mind, I watched, and I don't want to disrespect anybody, but I saw the English title fight against Tyler Denny and River Wilson bent. Now Tyler Denny's a good fighter, top level, yeah. I would back him 100% going into that fight next week,
yeah,
or in 2 weeks' time, 3 weeks, whatever it is when he's fighting, yeah, 100%. And like I say, people can say, "Oh, you're being a little bit overconfident there." Well, that's your opinion.
Of course, yeah.
I think if anything, being Leyton's dad, you'd be a bit less confident because you'd be worried about Leyton himself.
Yeah,
I feel
100%.
like that speaks volumes. You saying that you think he's ready now.
Yeah.
I think that speaks the facts that he is ready now.
Yeah. I like to say it's not. You know, I'm not. I think about everything I say, and I think about, you know, I know this is going out over the internet, and I know people are going to watch it, and that's fair play. But like I say, that's just my opinion.
I wouldn't say it if I didn't think it.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah, exactly. I won't say it if I didn't think there was a chance of that happening.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? As it is now, he's got his fight on the 30th of July against Seamus Devlin. He's had 32 fights so far.
32, yeah.
In under a year,
yeah.
he's looking good. He's a tough kid from Burnley, tough lad. We know he's training his manager,
Very well.
Curtis Gargano. Good, like I say, good lad. So he's not overlooking him, and we're not overlooking him. But we know we want to be looking at a title towards the end of the year.
Yeah.
I think maybe another fight after 5 fights. We'll. I think it's about.
We'll see it from there.
Yeah, I think it's fair to look at that. Maybe a central area.
It's not the experience he needs, it's just getting used to the boxing, isn't it?
Yeah, but.
Because the experience of being in the venues, being in unknown areas, being the underdog, being the person that shouldn't win. I've been and done it hard, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I've been in that one, do you know what I mean? So it's not, that don't bother me. People go, do you get nervous now? Nah, I've been in venues.
Been there, done that,
I couldn't even pronounce the where I'm at, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it don't bother me now. Now it's just me just learning a boxing trade.
Yeah.
And that's why I do the longer rounds. People go, oh, you could have stopped him in that round, you could have stopped him in yeah, would have, should have, do you know what I mean? But why? What's the point? You're not in here fighting, do you know what I mean? So, for me, these 4 rounds are more beneficial. Yeah, you might have seen a knockout and you can boast about it for the freaking 3 week after, but then it's forgot about after that.
Yeah, of
but
course.
for me, them rounds now will always stay in my locker, do you know what I mean? And that's what I can never have took off me, do you know what I mean? So, end of the day, a lot of people get drawn into the fact of the people around them, don't they? You know, like people go and smoke up their ass and all that situation, and they get drawn into that. With like, the great thing with me is obviously I've always had you at my side, which, you know, it's been coach, it's been dad, and also Joe as well. But it's just that honest edge with him. Do you know what I mean? That you did great today, but this is what you could do better.
Yeah.
You did, you know, you shown this is what you improved, but this is what we need to change. You know what I mean? And obviously you'll always be learning to the last fight you have. There's never going to be, you're going to know everything and completed it. You're not going to, but it's making sure that you're ready for whatever possible situation that's going to come, do you know what I mean? And for me, that's all that matters really. It doesn't matter what people think. They could say, oh, you know, you had 20, 30 fights, one world champion, and it wasn't the most entertaining. Yeah, but are you going to pay my bills after I finish? No. Are you going to be there if I was brain damaged because I've had 20 entertaining fights and come out with, you know, swelled up face, can't see for 2 weeks? No, you're not going to come and sort my family out. You're not going to come and, you know, help me go and get in the shower because I can't see where I'm going. No, you're not going to be there. You're just going to watch me for that up to 36 minutes of fighting, do you know what I mean? And that's it. That's all you're watching me for. Obviously, I want people to enjoy and want to watch me for the right reasons. But for me, at the end of the day, it's my life and my career, do you know what I mean? And I will get out of here as perfect as I am when I'm going in. And that's the main factor, do you know what I mean? Regardless of how entertaining it is, or you know, could have knocked him out in 2 rounds. Well, yeah, I could have. Do you know what I mean? If my sister had a pair of bollocks, she'd be my brother. and that's the spot on the note, innit? As you say, it's true, innit? But and that's how it is. And people start coming up with this, you know, the gibberish. Like, no, I'm doing it for myself. I'm not doing it for you. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm doing it for myself. I'm doing it for my family. Because then at the end of the day, when I've got so much in my bank account and you're still sat on your sofa, you know what I mean? Then who's the one laughing now? Do you know what I mean? Is it, you know? Nah, like a lot of people getting the stigma that they've got to please the crowd. Like, yeah, of course you've got to entertain the crowd. It's an entertainment, it's a show. That's all part of, like we were talking about trash talking. It's a show. Yeah. But end of the day, like, I want to make sure that man comes out the ring fine, and so do I, and we can see another day. And that's the truth of it, innit, really, do you know what I mean? And anybody that thinks different, then each to their own. It's your own opinion. That's my opinion, but that's how I see it, do you know what I mean? And that's as simple as how I look at it. And being honest is the biggest part of it all, really. That's what we're saying, isn't it? It's not, we don't say things out of the fun of it just for the joke. We're like, oh, yeah, we'll go for a world title next week. If they think about it and they're saying it to me, I'm not going to start going, yeah, I'm a world champion. But I know in myself, because if I
Yeah.
wasn't, you'd say to me, no, not yet.
Yeah.
Not the time. Do you know what I mean? And that's as simple as it. But that's about having the right people around you. Like I say again, the people around you, the people that see you the most. Do you know what I mean? They see it at a different angle from what I see it. So I can go in sparring, for example, and I could have 5 rounds. I could think, you know what? Didn't really do much. I can come and then I come out and you know you'll have something. You're like, you did really well. We certainly that jab was on point today. Do you know what I mean? Like, you know, don't just take this out of it. Do you know what I mean? And that's about being honest with it. Where some people they come out, they're going, oh, you look like an animal. Just bluffing them, do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Why? Be honest. There's nothing wrong with being honest. What's going to happen? You improve from it. Well, then there you go. There's nothing wrong with being honest, and that's not matter if it's in fighting. It's in general in life, innit? People are a bit scared to be honest and say what they think and feel. Do you know what I mean? And just out of fear of someone not liking it. Well, no, you not like you. Then you either ship up or ship off. Do you know what I mean? And that's it.
Honesty is always the best policy, as long as it's done in the right way. In a respectful way, like I say, you know, mentioning kids there, you know, I'm doing it as respectful as I can do. I'm not trying to say, oh, he's their shit, he's this, he's that. Some people will do that. I'm not doing that. I'm just saying, like, I back his ability against anybody.
Yeah.
Anybody. So, you know, like I say, it's just being respectful, you know, being honest. If I didn't think he was capable of that, I'd be saying to you, well, we're going to have at least another 10 fights with these, you know, journeymen just to learn the tricks of the trade and this, that and the other. I honestly believe he's past that. I honestly believe, and you'll see the best of him when he does get someone who's coming for a 50-50. When you get someone who's actually coming to actually fight and engage, that's when he'll start to stop people. And that's when you'll see the different side to him. You know what I mean? At the minute, we're learning, you know, we're clocking the rounds up, which is what we should be doing, not getting ahead of ourselves, and that's the way it is.
Is that the main aim at the moment then? Are you classing these fights as more of a long-term benefit? So just getting the rounds in a professional environment?
Well, three fights in and I've had 12 rounds.
Yeah.
Can't get any more rounds than that out of 3 fights, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
if I went in and did 3 fights and knocked them out within the first round, it's 3 rounds.
A lot less experience, yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, granted, I knocked him out, but do I know what I'm like when I'm on them later rounds? Do I know what I'm like when I'm fatiguing up? Do I know that I'm more of a later fighter or a starter fighter? A lot of questions you'd be asking yourself as a fighter, not even as a coach, as a fighter, you'd be asking yourself, what am I like when I'm in my 4th round in terms of footwork? Am I got my eyes, are my eyes as sharp as they are in the first round? Well, now I know that, you know, like, the last one was with Bucci, wasn't it? Do you know what I mean? It was a great fight, you know what I mean? Because someone like him, he can take a man out at any point. So when it got to like the last round, it was like, yeah, should we really up the footwork now and really give it, you know, so let's see how that works with him. And it was just playing around with it, and it was like, you know, coming back to the car and we were just, you know, chilling. It's funny because Joe was like, right, should we go to second gear now? And just play around, you know what I mean? And then knowing where like I'm at, because then when I go in for, say, an 8-rounder, I know by round 4 I'll be warmed up. Then I know round 4 I'm still going to have my footwork, I'm still going to have my eyes. Do you know what I mean? Where some kids, they might be their first 8-rounder, but they've only ever gone past 2 rounds, you know what I mean? And it's like, they don't know what their body's going to react to when they get to round 4, round 5, do you know what I mean? And that's the factor of it, it's for yourself. Yeah, the people are going to want to see a knockout, we all want to like to see a knockout, but it's not a lot to gain from it. What, you've knocked him out? Yeah, you might have done, but what have you gained from it? That's what matters, because it's me that's in them ropes when I'm fighting. It's not every person that's paid for a ticket or everyone that's watching on the telly. They're not in the ring getting punched and hitting the head, are they? It's me at the end of the day. So I've got to make sure that I'm ready. It's not about what they want, it's what I'm ready. And then that's where, like, say, having the right coaching team as well is vital, do you know what I mean? Like, you know, there's points in the fight where I could have maybe took him out if I'd have stayed on him, but then it was like, but why? Like you've worked all this time for it. Go and practice these things, go and try these things, and if you get clocked with it in there, you know next time not to, or you know next time what to do different, and that's where it is, isn't it? You know what I mean? It's all them things that you practice in the gym. Try them out there, because you can alright doing a drill on a bag and drilling on in the sparring in the gym, but it's different drilling it in front of everyone on the live day. Do you know what I mean? It's like you say with football, then it's like you could practice a free kick months and months and months at a time, do you know what I mean? And doing it in training, you could put it in top bins every time, but doing it in front of a crowd of, you know, at Old Trafford at the Stretford end is a different story, isn't it? It's that whole situational that takes the factor, and that's where you've got to practice it even more. And so if you can get the rounds in and experience it then, why not? Why would you want to try to learn it when you're getting in them 50-50 fights where it's like, well, this kid's in here and doing the same journey as me now. Like, he's on the same path as me. He wants me as I'm a hurdle to him.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, of
vice
course.
versa.
Yeah.
That's not when you want to be learning it, because you're going to learn the wrong way. That's where it's going to end up wrong, and you could end up, you know, taking a big shot of him. Because obviously we've got small gloves on. You're not just throwing to tappers, you know what I mean? You're throwing to hit. So if I'm learning it there, no, it's a dangerous point to be in. It's a dangerous zone. Do you know what I mean? You don't want to be in that zone. You want to make sure that you try and get it all beforehand, and anything you learn after that is just because it's just an experience thing, and it's the timing. It's the timing of it. Do you know what I mean? And that's what I see it as anyway. For me, anyway, personally.
It's the best way to see it, Ruth. I think it's a nice way to end as well on that one.
Yeah.
So make sure, shout out your fight. So it is 30th
30th of July.
30th of July.
Oldham Leisure Centre.
First link in the bio anyway for tickets. So you can get, is it ringside and just
Standard, yeah.
Standard.
Ringside and standard.
There's a few ringside left.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's
a few-
only a handful.
Pretty
I mean, I
standard.
went standard last time, and
Standards.
standard's quality. I still enjoyed it from the
Any
standard
support's
as well.
appreciated. That's what people
Yeah.
don't realise. You think that, you know, I can't get the ringside, and it's like, you know, think to the people, oh, I feel like I'm letting him down. No, like, trust me, just a little
As long
support.
as yeah, of course.
It means a lot. Do you know what I mean? Just that, even if some people, like, we know that can't make it now, don't they? But they're like, I bought the ticket because, like, as you know, starting a prospect, ticket sales are a big thing.
Of course,
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So even some people that have gone, oh, I bought tickets and I've given it to my friend because I can't make it now. Is that okay? Yeah, you're still supporting me. That's what I appreciate massively. And obviously, you know, I do know everybody that does it. Do you know what I mean? Well, we all do, really.
Yeah.
I can't lie, I don't handle the tickets as much. It's more you and my mum, innit, really? Like,
Oh yeah, I was going to say. on the
you
subject
used to
of
my
tickets,
PAs, really, innit?
big shout out to his mum, because
Yeah.
his mum does do a lot.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm in the gym with him every day. You know what I mean? So
She's always posting on socials for you, isn't
Yeah,
she?
his mum
she's
back
on the socials, isn't
yeah,
she?
our hands, she's at it, bless her. And
Yeah.
she, you know, she can be there till like 2, 3 in the morning. You know,
Planning, picking up and
Yeah.
stuff.
replying to messages and sorting it all out, and writing it all down. So she's a big part of things as well, isn't she?
Of course.
Obviously, his sister as well.
Yeah, base our Brie. She
Our
does her
Brie,
part.
She does her part.
But then also people like the sponsors as well. Everyone's sponsorship ads, obviously, you see.
Yeah.
They got it on
go,
the shirt.
shout
I have
out.
to give them a shout out before I forget.
Yeah.
Y'all can see the logos.
They're all
like-
going to be tagged anyway. We
Yeah,
always tag them.
They all play a part. Like, there's new sponsors that come along as well, aren't they?
Yeah.
That need to be put on the shirt. You know what I mean? So it all plays a part. People think, you know, like you've got to have a sponsor that pays you $1,000 a month. No, you don't need to.
No.
You could literally do the fact of I don't know. You could just give someone £100, but that £100 could mean the fact of them doing one day less in work. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly,
and people don't realise that. Just speak to the fighters most of the time. Of
course.
Don't necessarily need to be the most biggest of giving things. It could just be the fact that you buy. You know, as you know,
Yeah.
you know, the fabricators themselves,
Yeah.
they buy 2 ringside tickets and they auction them off.
Yeah.
Big
Yeah,
shout
I've seen
out
that,
to them boys.
Big shout out to them
'cause
boys, yeah.
They've done it twice now, haven't they?
Twice, yeah,
Yeah.
2
They've
ringside
bought the
tickets.
ringside tickets, and they've actually done like a competition in it for people to like and share their stuff, and they
then the
draw
winner
the
gets
winner
tickets.
from that, don't
Yeah.
they? So,
Yeah, we met one
you
of the
know,
winners, didn't we, the
Yeah,
last
yeah.
time at the Oldham Leisure Centre. It was
Yeah.
nice to meet them because they were like, we won the tickets, and I was like, oh, nice, you know, like, nice to meet you, obviously, but you know what I mean. But it's just nice, you know what I mean, and it's people don't realise it does mean a lot to people. Like, you know, might not always post it on every 2 seconds, but it isn't ever forgotten about, and that's the main
No,
factor
yeah,
in it. So
it's-
it's a process, and it's like class it as an investment, as you would say.
Of course,
In a way,
yeah.
one day
Yeah.
it'll pay off, and
Yeah,
you know,
definitely.
you'll be remembered as being in part of it. Do you know what I mean? And like we were saying on the first one, it just all plays a part massively into it.
And make sure you get your socials as well. So it's LRJC in it on Instagram.
_LRJC,
Yeah, make sure you had all the links
All
down below
links, yeah.
anyway.
Yeah.
For us anyway. Big thanks for coming on again.
No problem.
Pleasure
Really
again.
enjoyed it.
Quality.
Yeah. It's always good fun, isn't it?
Yeah. It's different. It's different, isn't it?
Oh,
yeah,
I
definitely.
enjoyed it. Enjoyed
I
myself.
love the platform, man. A big shout out to yourself.
Yeah.
Cheers. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very
You're doing
much.
amazing,
Well,
smashing
at
it.
the end of the day, you were one of the first guests that we've had on who. And look at what's happened since. So like, it's
Sun's
a
in our
big-
eyes, can't
steps.
be it?
100%. Make sure you head down below. You like, comment, and subscribe. Go over to Spotify, give us a 5-star rating as well, please.
And we'll see you next week.
See you next week.
Lovely.